Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the last session, we have seen uh, routing. What is routing in Node.js or how we can maintain the routing in Node.js frameworks. Okay. Now we are going to see like how to add HTML pages into a Node.js, or simply you can say that how to fetch the HTML pages in the on Node.js. So that we can going to see in this session. So basically, up to now we have created one Node.js server, and then accordingly we have run one that Node.js on some particular port number. Then we are going to browser and typing the local host and colon whatever the port number that we are given, and accordingly that page is running on a browser. But we are up to now we have did one single page applications. But now what we need to do, we want to create one HTML pages, which maybe how you can later on you can use a bootstrap, you can write any kind of code, even you can mix the embedded JavaScript. A lot of things can we can do with the HTML pages that you can separate developed pages, and that page we are going to call on our node server. Okay, so let's see like what kind of things we have to do, and accordingly what we can or how we can maintain this code in node.js. Okay, so very first thing that we are going to do, we'll simply make one simple HTML pages. So just go here, and then later on I'm going to add the bootstrap pages. So basically thing is that, so let's say the test.html page. So this is HTML page I'm going to add. This is biplated code is auto-generated. Just simply add one heading tag and try to access this HTML page in our Node.js server. Okay. So basically, I will just maintain one simply heading tag, and I'm just writing it. This is a static HTML page or static. You may say that a static web page. PAGE. So fine. So this is we can run separately also, but what we want to do, we want to access this HTML page, a static web page into a Node.js server. Okay. So I'm going to write the step-by-step code so that you can understood what exactly do. So let's say like we have to create one Node.js project or Node.js file. It means simply a .js file. So I'm just writing the boot.js file. Okay. So very first thing that we have to, whatever the required module is there, that module we have to install. Means we have to like in Java, in Python, we are doing import things, but in Node.js, we have to use one variable. You can use any variable, okay, HTTP is equal to. Here we have to use a require. See, it is auto word is there. Okay, which NPM module, node packaging module you want to use that. For creating a server, we need a HTTP. So that model I'm going to importing here. And the second thing, for working with any other file, you need one FS module. Okay. So that also we have to require. So the based on all required module, we have to just add it here. So I need FS module. And one more things, uh, in the variable, you can use any variable. I'm using similar variable. That doesn't mean that you have to use a similar variable. Even you can use the FFF, anything. So just for understanding, I'm using the FS. So very first thing that we are going to do, we are going to create an HTTP server. So whatever the variable we are using that, and dot create server, CREAT create server. See, the create server, what we are going to write, we are going to creating one function, and within that function we are passing two object. Which two object is there? Request and response. These are general things. So just write the object name, set REQ comma RES, request comma request. Fine. After that, parameterize function. Just add the bracket. Once you add a bracket, now what we want to do, up to now we have simply printed messages based on response dot write or some write response dot end. But we have to access one file from the other location, or some, or we want to access the HTML file. So for that, what we are going to do, first of all, we have to create the environment to read a file. See, there is an option. Okay, read file. So which file you want to read, add that file name here. For example, I want to access which file, which name we are giving, test. So test.html pages, HTML page we want to access. Simple. So this is also function we have to write here for accessing this function. So I'm writing the comma, then this function. This is either return some data or some error. So both the object I'm passing the error comma data. Simple. Opening bracket, closing brackets. Now the one structure is ready. So whichever the file you want to read, that give that extension and this error data. Okay. Now simply write the what kind of content that you are writing. So normally we are writing the text and like HTML pages or some text data. But as of now, we want to which data we want to write. So WRITE. So response dot write. First of all, write the status. So for the success status is default is 200. Then comma, the with kind of content, what kind of data you want to write. The content type is there. This is auto-generated code may be there, but I'm typing the first time because many time we have use auto-generated code. Content slash type. Okay. Colon, what kind of data you want to write. So just given if you want to use the JSON data, then you can use the slash JSON. But now, as of now, we are working with HTML. So I'm just to write the HTML data. Fine. So once we're done with this, just write that data. So in data variable, we are reading the entire HTML pages. So simply write the res dot write, WRITE. Just write what you want to write, that data. DAT. In data object, what is the contain? In data object, it contain the entire HTML page. So whatever the page that we are accessing, the test.html, that page it contains here, and that going to write on a browser. Okay, done. So we can return these things, return, return, because it's always return something value. What is going to return? Res of, and we are end with this thing. That's all. Once access the HTML pages, it responds the end. Now, after this, we have to add, means we have to add some port number so that it will be a listen. So add here listen. On which port you want to run? You may create any port, but just make sure that that port is not already used in your system. So that's all. Okay. Now we are done with our things. So simply I'm going to run this project. So for running things, we know the commands. First of all, we have to use that root folder, and then the file name. The file name is boot.js. So simply write a node, then boot.js file. Just hit the enter. Okay, we are not written any console messages. So simply go to the browser and right here what the local host 8080. If it is running, oh, something is missing. So let's check what is missing. Port number or something is there. Any error is there, then that we have to solve. Just observe the error. Chunk argument string. The receive the type 200 types. Okay, something it's showing some error. What kind of error it is? Okay, just remove the previous terminal. Just create a new terminal, and freshly you can run the node folder. We have the node folder, we have the node boot.js. Fine. Oh, it's showing errors. Let's check what kind of error it is. HTTP node.js server. Okay, let's check what we have done. Something is missing. We have created imported two files properly. HTTP requires HTTP, then fs require fs http dot create server function created request response object proper fine, then a bracket, then fs dot read file about whatever the HTML file that we are passing, comma function, and two object we are passing, opening bracket, closing bracket. Oh, see, here there is no right object. Here we have to write the right head because it's in the kind of head kind of things. Okay, the right head, WRITE head. Okay, so two times you cannot write. We have to write the heading, means whatever the things that contain the HTML pages, entire head that we are going to write. So right here 200 content type colon text, is there nothing missing? Here also the semicolon is missing. So just cross check and return with the end. Here also the semicolon is missing. So a lot of things we have missed whenever writing the code first time. So there are a lot of things that get missed. Okay. Now it's perfectly fine. So let's go once again and try to run this program. Just go there, node.js, and it is now, I think so, it's working. Just go here, refresh. That's all. Okay, I just zoom in. So this is just simply a static web page is there. So like it is just not once you created a code, you can now keep that code as it you and try to maintain any HTML pages, and accordingly whatever the HTML page you have maintained, just simply add that page name here and try to run this program. So it automatically fetch that HTML pages. So as of now, we are just given a simple text messages, but you can do any stuff here. Any stuff means what? Just go to the Bootstrap. So Bootstrap is nothing but one design framework. You're already aware about that. Those who don't aware, you can just Google it. You can find simply a lot of things related to Bootstrap. Okay. In Bootstrap, what it is just ready-made simple pages. So you can pick any HTML page here and Bootstrap page and just replace that test.html with this Bootstrap pages. So just as of now, I'm just taking this theme. Just go there and just copy this stuff, all these things. This is a responsive web page designing that is a ready-made combination of HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So I'm going to use simply these things. Go there in test.html pages. So just remove this previously stuff and type these things. So it is ready bootstrap template page is there, and just if you want to make any changes, so you can write here my first bootstrap page, or I'm not going to change anything, and as it is that page I'm going to add here. So it is that simple. The whatever change you have done in the test.html, so automatically that going to run on Node.js server. Okay. So for replacing these things, runs once again that node boot.js, go to the browser and just refresh it. Boom. So it will get a bootstrap pages. Okay. So it is as simple as. So now basically the same bootstrap page we are not running on a local server, we are running it on a Node.js server, not on a Chrome browser. So just for simply understanding, I'm going to open that page in a normal HTML also, so that we'll come to know what exactly the difference between both the things. Just try to open your local folder where you have created a Node.js file. See, so boot test.html. Observe the difference between the both the things. Still, a lot of things it get confused. See, now this is a file which is working on the Chrome this browser. Observe this file path. C user storage document node.js dot test dot html. Whenever you are finding a such a path, that means the browser providing an environment to run these things. Okay, but when you are running this page on something a server, the server is always having a some path and support number. If you observe these things, both are page looking same, but it is working on a node.js at the server side execution is happening here, and here is the thing that we are running which is on a client side itself. A browser is going to supporting that every environment. Okay, so this is what exactly I'm trying to explain in the second session. My what is how the client side JavaScript executing and how the client side server side JavaScript is executing. Okay. So whenever you're having such a kind of path, that means you're running on local machines, and whenever you're having this local host and something port number, that means you're executing that particular code on a server side execution. Okay. So simply it's shortly going to revise what we have done. Just simply in this session, we are trying to run the like how to access that HTML page on Node.js server. So simply we have require one HTTP server. So like we are using that modules, and for accessing file, there is a file system modules is there. Just require that import that modules. And using the HTTP, we have to create a server, and using Apache, there is an option that is a read file. and you can simply write the page whatever you want to do, that either return the errors or either return data, and headline the what kind of data it is going to return, that access that data, and just simply write the dead data. Okay, that's all. Hope you understood how to access the HTML pages in Node.js server. Thank you guys, thank you for watching.